Welcome to Module 7, Lesson 3. Our I can statement is, I can divide a multi-digit number by a one-digit number and check the answer. So we're going to be using long division again, and this time we're adding in that step of checking our answer. How do we confirm that our answer is correct? Okay, so let's take a look at our first problem. Jenny has 4,155 tickets for the air show. She gives the same number of tickets to 4 schools in the area. How many tickets does each school get? All of these steps are going to be guiding us to complete the long division equation. So let's start with step A. Divide the thousands. How many total thousands are in this number? There are 4 thousands. 4 thousands divided by 4. If I divide 4 thousands into 4 groups, there will be 1,000 in each group. We've put 4 total thousands in groups, so we're going to subtract those 4 thousands. Do we have any remaining thousands we need to regroup? Nope, we've used them all, right? We think about if this was my thousands cubes, they're very quick thousands cubes. I have been able to regroup to put each one in a group. I have none left to regroup into hundreds. All right, so now we need to look at the hundreds place. We don't have any thousands that we're regrouping, but we still have 100. Can we take this 100 and put it in 4 groups at once? We cannot, right? We cannot share this 100 among 4 groups. It needs to be regrouped. So in the quotient, we write a 0 because we cannot divide 100 into 4 groups without regrouping it. We've used 0 hundreds. We're going to regroup every single one, which means we have 100 remaining plus our 5 tens. So we've regrouped our 100, going back over here to section B, as 10 tens. And we've added those 5 tens so that our total number of tens that we're dividing is 15. Okay, so now we need to think about what is 15 divided by 4. Now, 4 divided by 4, we knew right away that was a multiple of 4. 15 is not a multiple of 4. What is a multiple of 4 that is close to but less than 15? I know that my close multiple is 12. So I'm going to use 12 of my tens. If I use 12 of my tens, how many of those 12s will be in each of the 4 groups? Well, 12 divided by 4 is 3. But did I use all of my tens? Right, here's my 10 plus 2 more. I still have 3 tens remaining that I need to regroup as ones. So let's fill in section C. We got a little ahead of ourselves. So we have 3 tens in each group. We got that by dividing the 12 tens that we used. So that's subtract the 12 tens in each group. Right, we found that closest multiple. 15 was not a multiple of 4. And then we needed to regroup the 3 leftover tens. Those 3 leftover tens are now equal to 31s, but we still have ones in this number. So now we have a total of 35 ones. Again, we need to think about 35 divided by 4. Is 35 a multiple of 4? No, it is not. What is our closest multiple of 4 to 35? That is less than 35. How many of those ones are we going to be able to regroup? We're going to be able to regroup 32 of the ones. If I have 32 ones to regroup divided into those 4 groups, how many ones will be in each group? There will be 8 ones in each group. We use 32, so we're going to subtract the 32 ones from the 35 ones. And we know we will still have 3 ones remaining. So we need to make sure we write our remainder 3. How many tickets will each school get? Each school gets 1,038 tickets. So remember, this was also about how do we check our work? How do we make sure we didn't make a mistake somewhere in there? Division and multiplication are inverse operations. Remember, this is a vocabulary word we worked on earlier. So you can use multiplication to check your answer to a division problem. Show the relationship between multiplication and division when there is no remainder. The dividend divided by the divisor equals the quotient. If we have the quotient, the answer, and we multiply that by the divisor, we will get the dividend. Okay, so if our dividend is 15 and our divisor is 3, our quotient would be 5. All this is saying is that 5 times the divisor of 3 will give us the original dividend of 15. But we have a remainder here, don't we? When there is a remainder, you multiply the whole number quotient, that's this section right here. You still multiply that by the divisor. And then you add the remainder. And that will give us our dividend. So if you think about, let's say 5 divided by 4, right? We take 5, we put it in 4 groups. There's 1 in each group and a remainder of 1. Then we would take that 1, multiply by our divisor, which is 4. We would add that remainder of 1, and it would equal our dividend of 5. So now we're going to go ahead and apply it. We have our whole number quotient is 1,038 times our divisor. Then we're going to add the remainder at the end. So first, let's multiply. 4 times 8 ones is equal to 32 ones. 2 ones, 3 tens. 4 times 3 tens is equal to 12 tens plus the 3 we need to regroup, which is 15 tens. 5 tens, 100. 4 times 0 hundreds is equal to 0 hundreds plus that 100 we needed to regroup, so 100. And 4 times 1,000 is equal to 4 thousands. In order to make sure we're actually checking, we had a remainder here. So in order to get our dividend, we need to add the remainder. Just changes that ones place because our remainder's in the ones. And we get our dividend of 4,155. So we know we solved this problem correctly. All right, we're going to do the first problem together, and then you're going to do the second one on your own. So let's take a look at number 1. 3,471 divided by 2. We start with the thousands place. we need to divide 3 thousands into 2 equal groups. How many groups of 2 are in 3 thousands? 1 group of 2. I know that if I had 3 thousands, I'm just going to draw circles right now. I could divide and find that there is 1 in each group, and I have 1 remaining. So I need to subtract those 2 that I just regrouped or used, and then have my 1 that I will regroup into the hundreds place. So instead of 1,000, I'm now looking at 1,400s. I need to divide up my 1,400s into 2 groups. Can I divide 14 into 2 groups? I can, because 14 is a multiple of 2. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. I was able to divide all 14. So I have 0 hundreds I need to regroup. But I'm not done. I still need to divide the tens place and the ones place. I have 7 tens. Is 7 a multiple of 2? 7 is not a multiple of 2, so I know that I'm going to have some amount that I need to regroup. If I have 7 and divide it into 2 equal groups, my closest multiple of 2 to 7 is 6. So I know I'm going to use 6 of my tens. When I divide those 6 tens into 2 groups, I'll have 3 in each group, but I will still have 1 10 that's remaining that I need to regroup. I can regroup it with my 1 1 for 11 ones. Is 11 a multiple of 2? 11 is not a multiple of 2. What is our closest multiple of 2 to 11? 10 is our closest multiple. If we use those 10 ones and divide them into 2 groups, we will have 5 ones in each group. But we will still have this one guy left over, and that is our remainder. Go ahead and pause the video and solve the next one. Press play when you're ready to check your work. Right, number 2 was able to divide evenly. We did not have a remainder, so it's equal to 1,029.